Hey folks, Bill Swift from Swift Canoe and Kayak, and we're in our headquarters in Muskoka, Ontario. Today we're going to show you the heart and soul of our company. We founded the manufacturing business in 1984 making tripping canoes. So we're going to go through all of our tandem boats, our Prospectors, our Algonquin, our Waydens. Let's get to it. Here is the workhorse of the Algonquin Outfitters rental fleet, the Algonquin 16. This is one in Kevlar fusion with a ruby finish and the champagne bottom. And this has our aluminum trim finish, which is a two-piece trim, snaps together. All the rivets are put on the inside. We put a nice roundness to the outside of it, so if you rub your hands while you're paddling, you don't hit anything sharp. They come with the aluminum handles, ABS end caps, beautiful cherry interior. This boat has lots and lots of stability. Great for two people entering the sport, great cottage day paddling boat. Small families really like it as well. This one is wide up at the gunnel, so it looks really big and full, but then down at the waterline, it's got a nicer shape to it. It really does cut the water nicely, has the David Yost rounded chine area. Good initial stability, tremendous final stability, and it's a boat that when you take a stroke, it really moves for you. So this is definitely one to consider. Here is a Prospector 15 with the ruby finish, Kevlar fusion. It has the black carbon Kevlar trim with the cherry interior on it. You can also order the carbon Kevlar trim with the black and gold gunnel, cherry interior. Both look beautiful. The Prospector 15 is one of our most popular tandem boats. It's great for average size to smaller couples looking for a good day paddling, weekending boat. Also a great boat to paddle solo where you can sit in the bow seat and face the stern. The shape of it is really neat. It's very rounded in the chine area, very good at wind and waves. When it rolls over, it really resists further capsizing, so it's difficult to tip over. When you're solo paddling, you can heel it over in the side nicely, move a little bit closer. Beautiful boat to paddle. A really neat thing about it is that it's available in the standard configuration like this, and then we also have it in what's called a Combi version, where we put a third seat right in the middle of the boat, and it's right at the balance point if you're solo paddling. We put a very wide frame seat in, so you can really move over to the side when you're paddling. This is popular for the person that really wants a tandem canoe, but they're going to be spending a lot of time solo. Either one of these is going to provide you with a lot of joy and happiness. We're very well known for building very lightweight canoes with carbon Kevlar trim. The carbon Kevlar trim takes 4 to 6 pounds off the weight of the boat, depending on what model it is, from the aluminum trim. This baby here is an Expedition Carbon Prospector 15 with our cherry trim finish. The cherry trim will add about 8 pounds on this model to the carbon Kevlar trim weight. But check this out. This is absolutely gorgeous. All cherry. Scuppers on the decks, scuppers right around where the yoke is. They're designed so when you turn the boat over after using it, the water will drain out nicely. It's absolutely beautiful. So if weight isn't an absolute priority to you and you just love the look of the wood, this baby is the way to go. Folks, the Combi version of the Prospector 15 is fantastic, where we put the center seat right in the middle of the canoe, right at the balance point of the boat, right at the pivot point. Beautiful to paddle, especially with a nice traditional Canadian paddle. These Badger paddles are the way to go. So a lot of people, though, will paddle a tandem canoe solo in this configuration, where they're sitting or kneeling in the bow seat. And because the Prospectors are so nice to heel over on the side, you can really move over to the side of the boat and get right down in a nice balanced position. Now, if it's a real windy, wavy day, the one end will stick up quite a bit. So what I like to do is put some weight in the end. Put a log, a rock, or something. The best weight to put in would be a real nice dog. But if you want to get a traditional Prospector 15 or 16 with the bow and stern seats without the solo position, you can definitely solo it like this. Now, I can sit, move my legs around. I'll paddle a lot with one leg forward, one leg under. This is a super comfortable position. So if you do want to solo these beautiful boats, don't think you have to get the Combi seat. It does, though, put you in a better balanced position. Here is our most popular tandem canoe for our Canadian customers, the iconic Prospector 16. This is one with the sapphire finish with the champagne two-tone bottom and the Kevlar fusion laminate. It's got the black and gold carbon Kevlar trim, and this one has the cherry outers and the composite decks, the carbon decks on it. And this is the configuration we sell lots of people that want a traditional looking wood canoe, but they want it light. We do a beautiful all cherry trim also. That adds about 8 to 10 pounds to the weight of the boat, whereas this only adds a couple pounds. Now the Prospector 16 we've done, it's a little bit sleeker. It's more off the chestnut cruiser shape than the Prospector shape. So when you take a stroke, this baby really accelerates nicely and glides into the next stroke. Lots of overall stability, very forgiving. We sell a lot of these to families, small families looking for a tripping boat, tandem people that really want to load the boat up and put a big dog in it. Very rounded in the chine area like our other David Yost design boats. Very good in wind and waves. It can really move around a lot. The waves really roll underneath it very nicely. A little bit of rocker at each end, so it's really good in those windy, twisty streams. Just a beautiful boat to paddle. Stability. If you really want stability in a tandem canoe with a lot of weight in it, this is a good choice for you. Now here's an option of it. Here is the Prospector 16 Combi. And what I want to show you with this one, this has a seat that's detachable. And what's cool about this is that it's great to use for 3 people. It's right at the balance point for solo. But then if you still want a 2-person tripping boat, this is what it looks like. This is the configuration setup. Very versatile. Either of these boats would be a joy for someone to have. This particular Combi has the ruby finish over the champagne two-tone bottom. I think, folks, you need one of each of them. Are you looking for a good volume tandem canoe? Here are 2 Prospector 17s. This one is in the Kevlar Fusion laminate with the emerald green over champagne finish, the black and gold carbon Kevlar trim with the cherry interior. This is the standard configuration. This baby is our Expedition Kevlar laminate, which has the beautiful Basalta Negra, both on the outside and the inside. It's got the black carbon Kevlar trim. It's got the carbon tech package. This one has a lot of options. It's also got the carbon bow sliding seat, which is a great option for families. And it's got the solo seat, which is detachable. This is super cool, folks. Check this out. So if you want to, you can take this right out. And then it's got the carbon foot bar, so if you just want to go on a trip without the extra seat in it, you can take it out. Then when it's time to have 3 people in here, beautiful. Now, a really cool thing that we do is we bring the webbing in all of our seats way to the side, as far as we can on all of our seats. You can put 2 small children side by side here, or one larger one, or a 3rd adult. Put your packs in front of you. When David Yost designed the Prospector 17, we took one of our favorite chestnut cruisers from Camp Wayden in Temagami, and we lofted the lines on it. And David cleaned the shape of it up a little bit. He filled the shear line in it, got rid of a little bit of the pucker in the end. This is an absolute beautiful paddling boat. It's very rounded in the chine areas. It's so good in wind and waves, and the fullness is carried way up the sides. You can put a lot of gear in this, very seaworthy. It's got symmetrical rocker, the same amount at both ends. This is a great family boat for day paddling or tripping. If you really want to load it up, you've got 2 or more kids, you've got a really big dog. Looks great, both in our standard configuration with the cherry interior, and you can get the options you see in this boat with the cherry package also. Either of these babies are going to put a big smile on your face. So why get the Carbon Tech package? The number one reason is if you just love the look of it. We've got a really cool process of how we infuse the carbon parts. The carbon yokes, the carbon thwarts, the carbon handles are made with a really cool 2-piece molds that come together. They're made like a carbon monocube bike frame is. Super cool technology. Our seats, we also developed a really cool process. So folks, this is all carbon, super light, super strong. Bow sliding seat is great when you've got smaller paddlers. They can move the seat way forward, use the front float tank as a foot brace. Taller people can bring it back, more leg room. Smaller people like it too. When the seat's forward, it's narrower and easier to reach over the sides. The center seat setup is super cool, and it's so easy to take out of the boat when you don't want to have it in it. Super, super light. We've got a really cool process how we make these. Here's a carbon foot bar. Allows you to put pressure on your feet while you're paddling. The stern seat, another beautiful setup. We've curved the back bar on all of our seats to put lots of room for ample posteriors. And we angle the front bar forward. Makes it really comfortable when you're kneeling. Your legs don't dig into the solid bar coming across the seat. Carbon Tech package, very maintenance free, super cool looking, and depending on the length of the boat, it can take between ½ a pound and up to 2 pounds out of the weight of a boat if you've got a lot of options on it. Folks, here is our Wayden 16, and a lot of people ask us where we got the name. Wayden is the native name for the northwest wind, the fair weather wind. There's a camp on Temagami called Camp Wayden that I went to, and I always loved the name of it. Our Wayden 16s are beautiful, sleek boats. They really, when you take a stroke, these babies are performance boats. They really accelerate nicely, and they glide into the next stroke. Now they look shallow when you look at them from a distance, but look how deep they actually are. They're a little bit more rounded in the chine area than the Prospectors. Sides are, the fullness is carried way up the sides. They really push the waves off to the side, away from the boat nicely. They're asymmetrical, straighter keeled in the back end, more rocker forward. The bows are more maneuverable than the stern. They're ideal when you're on those trips. They're a combination of lake paddling where you want a boat that tracks really nicely, and then a boat with a more maneuverable bow to pull around the corners in those real windy, twisty streams. Now let's go over a couple of the options that a lot of people like with this particular boat. A lot of people get the knee pads, and you can get the ones where we adhere right to the bottom, or we have a nice folding knee pad that you can put in. Very comfortable to sit or kneel in. Here's a really cool option. This is a detachable kneeling thwart, and it's very wide. There's a lot of companies that make them very narrow. They're not very comfortable. This is a super comfortable position. You put almost all the weight on the bar, hardly any on your knees at all. So I'll show you right here. Normally, if you really put a lot of weight on your knees, it constricts the blood flow. It's not that comfortable. The Waydens are boats that you can also move over to the side when you solo paddle to get real close. Now, one of the coolest options we have on this boat is the bow sliding seat. And we're going to have Diane come here. And many of you may have spoken on the phone. This wonderful gal manages our Muskoka store. And she's very knowledgeable about paddling. Now, Diane tells us she's about 5'1", 5'2" maybe. So she's got the sliding seat in the front configuration. She can put her feet right on the front float tanks, a very comfortable position. Look how narrow her paddling position is there. She can really paddle comfortably. As the sides of the boat get narrower, it makes it easier for shorter people to paddle. And then Diane, let's show the folks if you slide the seat all the way back. So taller people like the seat when it's further back, but now look how wide it is for her. So the sliding seat gives you the ability to have different size paddlers in the boat. So here's a reason why Diane would want to keep the seat slid all the way in the back position, is so that Max can go. And Max does not like being left behind. Go Max. All right, buddy. Good job. Here's another form of the Wayden 16, the Wayden 16 Tandem pack boat, which is the exact same shape as our Canoe, but it's got our beautiful pack boat seats in them. These are super comfortable, folks. Adjustable lumbar support. When you're not using them, they fold down and you can strap them in place. You go to use them, you just clip them right in. These work just like backpack straps. So very easy to adjust while you're paddling. Very thick foam on the bottom, thick foam here. Super, super comfortable. If anyone has back issues or they just want to have the ultimate in comfort, these are the way to go. What a lot of couples do that get this version is they use both canoe paddles and kayak paddles. Each time I use this, I'll adjust the lumbar support. In the back of the boat, it comes with the adjustable kayak foot braces. In the front of the boat, we can't put our foot braces in. They don't foot properly. What a lot of people do is they get a big beach ball from a dollar store, and you can adjust how much air you have in it for the person in the front so they can have a little bit of a foot stop on the boat. I got that from a customer. So great with kayak paddles. You can really get more efficiency on a windy, wavy day. A lot of people ask us for a tandem lightweight kayak. The problem with a lot of them is seats are so close together that you bump paddles. This is super light in the pack boat configuration. Paddlers are far apart. You don't have to be perfectly in unison when you're paddling. The other thing is, they're also great to paddle with canoe paddles. So if you want to get a tandem canoe, you really want the ultimate in seat comfort. That's your number one priority, that when you get out there, you want to just feel terrific. This is the way to go. Here's a third configuration for the Wayden 16, a Combi. Now this particular one is the carbon fusion laminate with the beautiful carbon and negra clear coat on the outside. It's got the yellow two-tone color with matching stickers on it. And what we do with the Combi is we put a center seat right at the balance position if you're solo paddling. And you can also order a detachable yoke. You can order the seat to be detachable itself if you want to. This is a great configuration if you really want to do a lot of solo paddling, but 2 people is a must in your boat. So the reason why this boat's so popular is that it's a little bit narrower at the gunnel line than the Prospector, so a little bit easier to solo paddle. Any of them are great in the setup, though it adds so much versatility to the boat. The Wayden 16 Combi, definitely one I want. The Wayden 16 comes standard with the 2 fixed seats with a center cherry yoke in it. This one has a lot of sales features options on it. Then this is how I would order this particular boat for my use. And the first thing is, It's got the Kevlar bang plates on the end of the boat. And this boat has actually been our demo for the year. We wanted to show it to you because it's been used. It's got a few marks and nicks and stuff on it. This one has the adjustable sliding seat in cherry. There's locking knobs on the bottom, so when you get the position that you want to sit in, you just lightly tighten them up and the seat doesn't move around. I do that every time I go drive with it also, so it doesn't rattle while you're driving. The center yoke is standard. This one has a detachable kneeling thwart, which you can take right out if you're tandem tripping. If you don't want it there, it's a great option to have. When you loosen and tighten these guys, you don't want to be a weightlifter and just crank the heck out of it. Just crank, crank, crank. Just get it snug, and that's all you need. When you're driving to and from, I always take it out. Loosen it right up. This one is the spout. It's got the center knee pads. It's also got the stern knee pads. So the seats we have are so cool. Because we've got this angle to the front part, they're so comfortable to paddle with your legs out in front of you, to put one leg under, both legs under. Wayden 16, day paddling, weekending. We have average to smaller size couples that'll take this boat out on 5-7 day trips. This baby's an absolute joy to paddle. Okay, folks, I have a lot of favorite boats. I love all of the boats we build, but the Wayden 17 is my personal favorite, and it's the boat that my gal and I use the most. Here is a beautiful carbon fusion one with a carbon Negra H-weave over the champagne two-tone finish. It's got the black and gold carbon Kevlar trim with the cherry interior. Note that, again, very rounded in the chine area, very sleek at the waterline. When it's not a race boat, but when you take a stroke with this baby, it really accelerates. It really goes for you. More rocker forward. The bow is more maneuverable than the stern. One of the features we love about this boat is that it comes standard with a fixed seat in the front. Adrian's 5'7". She loves moving the seat forward. She'll lock it, and she can put her feet right on the float tanks. It makes her very narrow to paddle, like we saw Diane in the Wayden 16. Nice contour yoke for portaging. Here is the adjustable carbon foot bar, which I feel is essential if you're going to be spending a lot of time day paddling, so you can brace your feet against it. When you're tripping, you have your packs on the canoe, and you can brace your feet on the packs. So day paddling, it's a great feature to have. Now, this baby right here has a really cool option on it. So this particular Wayden 17 has the detachable center seat, which just pops right out. So this is a configuration, we call it the solo seat configuration, where I can get my legs under, I can paddle this solo, I can kneel in it comfortably. I'm very big, I'm 6'4", so average size people fit in this even better. It is a boat for a larger paddler though. It is big, more boat above the waterline for a smaller to average size paddler, but I can solo paddle this and it feels great. So lots of really neat options to have in this boat and many ways to configure it. This is a popular version we sell to trippers. This has the carbon Negra H-weave without the two-tone bottom, so it's absolutely the lightest configuration you can get in the boat. If you hit rocks and so on, it'll show the scratches a little bit more, but if weight is your biggest priority, this laminate is really tough and ideally suited for tripping. So folks, this is my Wayden 17, and this baby has been used and used hard. You can see all the scratches on it. Adrian and I will often hit rocks so hard we'll look at each other, just say, uh-oh, what the heck is going on? Gets tons of marks on it. Look at this, we hammered something really hard here, but there's no break in it. There's nothing to be worried about with something like that at all. So these boats are all designed with a urethane resin system. Very elastic. The whole laminating system's designed that when you hit a rock, you hit a log, it's got a lot of elasticity to it. Over the years, we tried building boats with ribbing systems, with core systems. This is by far the strongest configuration that we've come up with in a very lightweight laminate. It's got a foam core on the bottom. Look at the inside. You can see this baby's really been used. Adrian loves having the bow sliding seat. This is a great option, folks, on our web store. This is the foam pad we put in our kayaks and pack boats on a canoe seat. If you really want a lot of comfort, it's a great option to get. Carbon yoke. I love having the padded yoke pad on it. You can see these two silver clips. I also put a tump line on it, a leather tump when I carry it. And here's something that I think is so important in a boat. I love having the carbon foot bar. And the reason is, when you paddle, you actually transmit your power, your energy of your motion of your stroke by pushing on your feet. And if your feet have a real solid position, you can really lean on the paddle. So if you get a real windy day and you've really got to put some power to it, having the foot brace makes it so much easier. The carbon foot bars we do are adjustable for different size people. This one has the ability, I can put my legs on the side like you get with the kayak foot brace, or the benefit of the foot bar is that if I want to put my feet right in the middle of the boat, I'm able to. So you can see, folks, this boat I've been using now, Adrian and I, for 3 years. It's been through a lot with us, and it's got a lot of life left into it. So I think that's one of the most important thing about Swift boats is that they look beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous, but at the same time, they're really made to be used. Don't be concerned about running over rocks, running over logs. It happens. It's what the laminates are designed for. So hit those rocks and have laughs about them. And some of the marks, we know where they're from. You get to love the marks on your boat. So the main thing, folks, is that the boats are beautiful. And we have lots of folks that take great care of their boats. They don't want to hit any rocks. Or when they do, they'll buff the marks out and they'll shine them up. You definitely can do that. But if you are the type of folks that you really like to use a boat hard and not be worried about it, look, if you're the type of folks that really like to use a boat hard and not worry about it, this boat is a testament to what you can do. This is just a standard boat. It's actually a blem that I just pulled out of the line and started using for myself. All of our boats are made with a resin infusion process with a urethane resin, and they are designed to be used. Folks, here is our big family tripping canoe. Here is the Wayden 18.6, which is a Wayden 17 stretched 1.5 feet in length. Lots of volume to it. Very efficient boat for day paddling, for tripping. Great when you've got 2, 3 kids, a dog, or people that just want to put a lot of weight in the boat or do some extended tripping. This particular one has the ruby over champagne two-tone finish. It's got the black and gold carbon Kevlar trim. It's got the all cherry interior on it, and it's got a really neat option on it. This is what we call the solo center seat, which is great to either put 2 kids side by side or to put 3 adults in a boat. Now guys, this boat is long. So when I take this out, if there's someone in the front of the boat and we're in a windy, twisty stream, hey up there, pull right, pull right. It's a big boat, you're spread out. It's a lot of fun though when you can have a whole family in a boat, the dog, and this particular baby paddles so efficiently, very good in wind and waves. Families feel very safe and secure in it, and they get to where they want to go very efficiently. Okay guys, lots of tandem canoes to choose from. I think I'm going to stick with this Wayden 17 that Adrian and I call Luna. And one of the things we haven't talked about is how light our boats are. Check this out, folks. It's so nice to have a boat that you can carry a pack and the canoe at the same time with, or if you're just going out day paddling, with this nice foam pad on this boat, I can carry this boat all day. So folks, have fun deciding which one you want the best. Adrian and I are not going to part with Luna though. This is our favorite.